Enjoy the show. Play on my channel.
Hey, I'm Zeus.
Hey, yo, Zeus, get down here.
Come here, Poseidon. Come on.
I want somebody to actually almost get mauled by a lion, not a hologram. It does kind of kill the mood for you.
I was focusing on his inability to swim, and you're going to be Aqualad. Like, bro, you better get Swimmies. In this day and age, you're better off putting it everywhere. Sorry, STD. But you're better off putting it everywhere.
3, 2, 1, you're now live on the Twitches, the Faces books, the YouTubes.
YouTubes?
The YouTubes.
What's a YouTubes?
Oh, you don't
What's a
know.
YouTubes?
You don't want to know.
The two YouTubes.
The two Utes. What's a Ute?
And, of course, this is the 307th Purge Hangers and Wall Hangers Media Network presentation. And, of course, the only podcast that can't speak Spanish. We are the Triforce Podcast, of course.
We can't speak Spanish well.
I am your host, Matthew
They've been trying to teach me
Bucro,
that shit for years.
the Batman. And to my left is
Kindergarten, actually.
Christopher Bristow, the old man. We have our omnipotent presence that is one Stephen Bucarell, Big Brother, as well as our hero of time and mascot, Link Diablo, wandering around the below regions. No
Hey, we're
giggity.
playing Elden Ring.
No way. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, it's never right. It's never right. It's the 307th well, not just Triforce, but Purge Hangers and Wall Hangers Media Network presentation. But it's not why we gather here. We gather here because tonight, finding Percy Jackson, remaking Payne, the next Hook, and so much more on the Triforce podcast. We hop on over to... You want to go ahead and hop on over to the second tab, Walljanger Gaming, where you're going to find Big Brother and myself streaming Saturday through Friday most days. I, of course, am going through the Old Republic, and of course, I am about to kill the Emperor this Saturday. Well, actually, fuck, I might do that tomorrow or anytime this week. I got off. I don't care. It's Easter. Spring break! Woo!
So my weekend was at American Championship Pro Wrestling, where I got to ring announce
Yes!
for the Wars of Revolution. I've been posting pictures for them up all day, throughout the day today.
Facebook.com/HCPW.
Correct, sir.
If you want to pull up their page, Big Brother.
And then
We're an affiliate.
later throughout the week, we will be posting the cross-promotional podcast that David Westcavage from Suburban Sasquatch. He was such a beautiful, wonderful soul of a gentleman. So we will be reaching out to him.
Yes, we want to have him on. That's
will-
why you can check this out, Suburban Sasquatch. The only thing more frightening than the legend is the truth. Some say he doesn't exist. Others say he's not real, but he's here, and he's no longer hiding in the woods. Bigfoot is coming out to claim territory, and only one mysterious woman can stop him. The Sasquatch bloodthirsty rampage rips through victims as a local reporter follows the trail. The police are hiding something. But what? But at what cost? Who can stop this terror, and who will survive the savages of Suburban Sasquatch? I don't know why only one woman can tame the beast. Is this like a black
What are you having us
Black
watch?
Widow is this like a Black Widow Hulk thing?
I don't know.
Is this going to be on Pornhub? Like, what is going on here?
It would, maybe. I don't know. I mean, it would probably be on Pornhub, but with just you're just watching the video.
I am looking forward to checking out that movie. We got the PS4 Pro. We can watch that.
Hey,
We have a
all
DVD.
good.
We have a disc player.
a disc player.
Ain't that crazy? That's going to be like fucking vinyl. Like, oh, do you have a record player? Oh, I have a disc player and a record player.
It's crazy.
I'm not bullshitting. We have a disc player and a
Ford
record
was
player.
giving away VHSs. I'm not kidding. Lug Nuts 2 weeks ago. They were giving away, I think it was 2 weeks ago, VHSs with the Top Gun edition Maverick.
Yeah, the
They're
Maverick
giving
edition
away
car.
If you buy one, You get the VHS.
You get the
Top
VHS
Gun.
because it's highway to the danger zone, motherfucker.
I think someone found a warehouse, and they're like, wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
How many?
Here's the complimentary ET Atari cartridge as well.
Yeah, get rid of these things. Good
I was
morning.
about to go there. I was like, oh no, that came with a complimentary ET. Guarantee you.
See, birds of a feather, man. We got it, man.
Locked together as always. But on Wall Jenker Gaming,
Speaking of
you will find Big Brother streaming Elden Ring.
Yeah.
from one flock to another.
Have you checked that out yet?
No, I haven't.
I have watched it.
I've been playing my own version
I
of
love
Elden Ring with I started off with the base stat character, and I've actually gotten pretty good. Got him up to I think level 33 now. So
Okay. I'm enjoying the 2080 Super. I will tell you that.
you're welcome, sir.
It's so fucking great. It's so fucking great.
Yeah,
I never knew how much I needed ray tracing in my life.
yeah, I know. Guardians looks amazing, isn't with that?
Fantastic.
Yeah, I know.
Guardians,
Cyberpunk?
Jedi: The Fallen Order. I haven't checked out Cyberpunk. I have not checked that out yet. I'm gonna have to load that back up.
So Cyberpunk on the 49-inch ultra wide, I'm like, I could see people trying to flank me. Like, it's awesome. Just saying.
That's pretty badass. That's pretty fucking badass. I mean,
It comes in handy in Call of Duty, I will say.
the projector monitor in front of us is a wide, like a curved screen, and I didn't know. I didn't think I
yours-
would really like a curved screen. I like a small curved screen because that just kind of adds to the texture of the screen.
You saw that. You saw that beast in action, though. That was.
Oh yeah. No, your ultra wide is really great. I mean, maybe. I mean, to replace the BenQ, I could see going on ultra wide.
You can do the Asus 34, which I sold to our Iron Kelly. So
Yeah, I haven't. That one's an Asus, the 240 hertz. But enough about. Well, I mean, enough nerdy shit. Let's get on to the nerdy shit, not the nerdy shit.
well,
We got to get on to business first. Unfortunately, a news story that just broke.
yes, it broke about a couple hours ago. It's it's always unfortunate when this happens. It's like we know that it is part of life, but Gilbert Offeree.
Too fucking young, man.
I mean, 67 is young in this day and age, but the underlying factor is that he was dealing with a long terminal illness.
Yeah.
So he is a comedic legend with that, and it's
You could definitely tell though, like his last Rogan appearance, how he was speaking. It was
A little- it was-
He's going through some shit.
like him. Like
But he had a podcast too, didn't he?
he did, but like he had that on hiatus for a little bit. So like him, the funniest moments. I mean, of course, everybody knows him as Iago from Aladdin, but there are other things.
I only saw one story that the fucking tagline was Aladdin star.
Yeah, I know.
Only one, and I'm very fucking proud.
I'm happy that
I'm very proud of the internet for doing that because he was a fucking stand-up comedian legend way
but
before
he was
that,
also
and so much more.
instrumental in like kids' development because he was on a couple PBS shows as well.
Absolutely.
He was in The Aristocrats. That was a fucking funny, like his bit with that was hilarious. Him and
If
Saget.
I had to pick a favorite Bob Saget and a favorite Gilbert Godfrey anything, it's the fucking Aristocrats.
it's The
You haven't
Aristocrats
seen
and
The
Bumping
Aristocrats.
Mics.
Yes.
Bumping Mics.
Bumping mics, we can't bump them. They're too far apart, but
No.
no. But those two appearances, that just proved and solidified how fucking genius they are in the stand-up community and just in comedy in general. And just to lose both of them so close together.
I was watching him on Bumping Mics just like because, yes, I watched it all the way through, but I just watched it 3.5 weeks ago again. And then on top of that, I watched the roast that he was doing, the roast of Bob Saget.
He was amazing in the roast.
Fucking amazing.
He was so great. I mean,
So rest in peace, legend. Heaven just got funnier.
we lost another bit of funny in the world.
We did.
And we're not going to gain that funny back because that is an original spark.
The earth is slightly darker because of losing him. So
Dare I say a little less salty, like this next story. Because Disney Plus found their Percy Jackson.
I like the book
There
series, and I
may
like the movies.
be a picture of the actor below, but it's the kid from the Atom. There he is, the kid from the Atom Project.
Yeah, I mean, and he delivered fairly well for that movie, but for what it was worth.
Where's his name? It's something
Um,
weird. It is.
Keep going. Walker Schobel.
Yes, Walker Shovel. I liked Ryan Reynolds' thing, and he was like younger me. Get his Percy Jackson, so I guess I'm older Percy Jackson, which I need to see that now.
Yes.
Add him in and end of the series, just like or like end of the season as like a nice little hey if you want to do tiptoe into the time travel realm. But I mean, you probably want to stick to the books.
Read the books first, please. Just read the
I
books
haven't read
first.
the books, so that's why my idea is ridiculous.
Well, you can get them on audiobook. Insert affiliate link here.
I like to watch the show first because
yeah.
you know if you do it the other way around, you're always let down.
The first movie, Percy Jackson, the Lightning Thief, was good.
It was.
And that's why I was like, oh, this is based off a book? Oh, this is probably going to be great. And then I didn't watch the second one for the longest time.
Yep.
And I did, and I was like, oh, it's good now that I didn't pay anything for it, and I could just watch it for free. But if I paid something, I'd be furious.
It's kind of like the book series for Aragon. That was a good book series, but the movie was like subpar. It's kind of the same thing.
I mean, I like this as a TV series because we say so often on this podcast that so many premise work better as a TV series, especially in book premise. That is the perfect time for them to flourish is right now. You get this fresh on Disney Plus, a nice mythological, traditional heroic series, having that true hero's tale of Percy Jackson and all through all the book mythos and even doing your own like Halo Silver timeline, I'm fine with if it's done right. But overall, not doing what the movies leaned on.
Yeah, because the movies try to cram too much in very little timeline, and there's only so much you can do. Like Avatar: The Last Airbender was a culprit of that as well, because you tried to fit like an entire narrative in a 2-hour movie. You can't do that.
Yeah, you can't.
Start
just
small,
can't.
one episode.
You know, whereas it took
from it.
Hollywood and other production companies like 10 years to actually start realizing that the small screen can actually give you a better story. And the reason why I say that is because Sopranos was ending around 2005, and that's when the tip over from like when Sopranos ended
Yeah.
to now was like that was the point of
Here's the show
I see.
I want that I know I'm not going to get because the books are definitely not like this. Mix Percy Jackson with The Sopranos. Give me that real dose of reality in a fucking...
Hey, I'm Zeus.
Hey, yo, Zeus, get down here. Like,
Come here, Poseidon. Come on.
It's Italy. What? Oh, no, Greece. Well, yeah, Greece, Italy.
We're,
You can
we're
do
all
that right
related
there.
here. We're all related. Don't worry about it.
You're
Go
close
make
enough.
a pizza.
You're
They're
right,
right there.
We're right across the ocean. And it's not even an ocean, it's a sea. All right? A sea.
Give me a gyro.
It's like
Give me a
going-
gyro.
It's like going to Canada. You know?
It's gyro. No, give me a gyro.
But having like what was that? Magician's Apprentice with Nick Cage?
That was that was a good movie.
That kind of style of taking a realistic flair to a fantasy or mythological premise. I like that idea.
The
And if
irony
they do that,
behind
I'm good.
the irony behind that movie is that movie came out right before the Star Wars purchase.
It was actually right around the time when the IRS were like, you have how many castles?
But they're all plastic. Okay.
He had he bought castles. That's what Nick Cage did. I remember seeing a story like that. He had a bunch of castles. If you could say I own a bunch of castles, that's first world problems. But the IRS are going to look. Wesley Snipes.
They were made of Legos.
Sugar castles.
Thank you.
Uh-huh. Sure.
But
Don't step on them.
aside from being a rising star, and this kid was really good in the Atom Project. If you haven't watched that, really nice. This guy and Ryan Reynolds and Mark Ruffalo and what was it? Jennifer Garner did a really great job in that movie.
Okay.
So that's definitely one to watch, especially if you want to see like, well, what's this kid's acting chops? He did a really great fucking job in that movie. You know, so rising star indeed. The best-selling middle grade series takes place in a world where all Greek myths are true and focuses on a demigod child of children of the Greek gods and goddesses who all attend a summer camp called Camp Half-Blood. That is awful.
You don't have full blood? No, I'm half blood.
No, the full blood camp is over there. They have the nice they got showers, working or
and
running
actual
water.
Tables to eat lunch at.
Yeah, not troughs.
I
Not
wonder what
troughs.
the metaphor is.
But the initial series
Hyos.
focused on
I don't know.
Percy and his friends, Annabeth and Grover. Not that Grover. Super Grover! No, he's not involved.
Really? I was going to say, now it's getting interesting.
Yeah,
What, are we going to have the count as one of the enemies? It's like 2, 3,
Go in between the counts.
Now we're going somewhere.
So
There's a pattern. Get him in between the ah-ahs.
Get him on the second That's how you kill the count. And then he just turns to ash and fucking.
We just murdered Sesame Street.
Now children will never
At least
know
one
how to
character.
count.
We can kill the rest by the end of it. Big Bird, you're next. The first sequel to the series blended.
Snuffleupagus. That's what I wanted.
Whoa. You can't kill the imaginary.
I mean,
Or can you?
maybe
My imagination was killed by life a long time ago.
as we levitate.
It doesn't matter.
The first sequel
Yeah, don't try.
series blended elements of Roman mythology into the world, and a few spin-off series took on Egyptian and Norse mythology, which I am 100% game for. If you want to have spin-off series off of this too.
I do. I mean,
Who wouldn't watch that?
It would be loved. I would love to see the God of War to
Especially-
come in and just hey Percy, boy,
Well, especially you go
you're
like
now adopted.
Egyptian mythology, especially
One man's
after,
trash
like,
is another
fucking-
man's treasure. It's a poor way to say you're adopted.
especially after like Moon Knight. You get that Egyptian mythology, or even with Thor, the Norse mythology, but go into that fucking mythological roots
Like
of it.
embedding yourself into like pulling out the mythos.
Like
Yeah,
the
that's
one,
right.
well, like the one mythology. The guy goes into Hades to save his wife. Hades is like, all right, I'll let you bring her out,
I need James Woods for them.
but don't look at her. If you look at her, deal's off. Gets all the way to the end and then looks at her. There has to be that deep-seated regret of, I fucked up! That is Greek myth. That's what I want in this show.
Oh no!
It's like Shakespearean in a sense, to where that's, you have to have that tragedy in there. It can't work out well, and that's what really will play well. But I don't, we'll have
What
to
was
see.
that? What was that? What was that story when the Cyclops asked what his name was, and he said nobody, and then the Cyclops says nobody punctured my eye. Nobody punctured my eye, and he says like, well, what are you talking about?
Exactly, because that was a Greek name, nobody, and that is fucking. Thank God that's a name lost. And could you imagine your parents naming you Nobody?
That's what
Nobody, get over here. Be quiet.
So I'm going to name a dog.
Nobody. Stay over there.
Sit,
Boy.
nobody. Sit.
Toasty.
Good boy.
Let's see. How can we be more condescending with names? Boy.
Nobody. Boy.
I think Nobody is like a notch under boy. Boy is when he's doing good. Boy.
I would like to see what happens during the new God of War. Teenager.
Prepubescent boy. I'm a man now.
All right, Loki.
But I think we've tripped around the Greek myth long enough, because there's an Ironheart to this next story. Because Ironheart taps two directors for the series Ryan Coogler is to executive produce. creative team behind Marvel's upcoming Disney Plus series Ironheart, has been set. The Hollywood Reporter noting that Ryan Coogler and his production banner have joined the series along with directors Sam Bailey and Angela Barnes. Bailey and Barnes, can't switch those around, otherwise you get sued by a circus. Are set to
they disbanded.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah, they don't.
exist
They don't have that anymore.
Barnes and Bailey don't exist anymore because they
A fucking
died
dead
a long
joke.
time
I
ago.
they
waited
allowed,
too long.
They allowed the animals. They sent them back to a sanctuary, so they are running free.
Didn't they try to do like holograms for a little bit?
It's like
Yeah, they
6
tried.
years ago.
They tried like, hang on, we got future stuff, we got holograms. Like, where's the fucking real shit smell, motherfucker? I want somebody to actually almost get mauled by a lion, not a hologram. It does kind of kill the mood for you.
And like you go there to see animals and men and women and the human race to interact with each other. And
You ever been to like those like small? Not to get off on a circus rant here for Ironheart, but you ever been to like a small like actual like small independent like circus?
No.
I have.
Yeah.
I went there for a fucking school trip, and it was like literally pop up the tent. You got fucking bleachers. Like remember in the
Oh yeah.
We also
over
went
at
to
the high
another.
school.
Yeah,
Those-
you just pull them out. And
those
they go
metal-
dum, 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 dum.
No, not those. The fucking outside metal.
Oh, the wet. Oh yeah.
The wet metal bleachers, but it's under the tent. Like they were like, all right, set those up around there.
The ones that will give you tetanus if you cut yourself with.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
One of those. I
Okay.
went to like, one of those.
Yeah.
It was still fun. Dude, they were selling it. All right. You know why? Because it's like
Well, you got to
going
work
see,
the gimmick, man.
It's like going to see that fresh stand-up comic. They got their heart into it. They're giving it their all. You're fucking seeing the best of their what they can do, and it was actually a really good show.
I don't
It's a really
think
good show.
I don't think Riri Williams will be on that kind of circus, but she might be in Circus Olay.
We really went off the rails on the circus rant.
In fact,
I forgot. But Ironheart, the series will premiere with Coogler and Proximity Media, his production house. It's set to executive produce the project with Riri Williams. Dominique Thorne is set to play the titular character. And she is set to debut in the upcoming Black Panther Wakanda Forever, which we had that
forever.
we had that story a while ago saying that they were in like London shooting with her on that. And I like that as an intro. Wakanda Forever, I think, is still set for this year, if not early next year. And then we get that Ironheart show after that, adding into that Disney mix. We're getting that Iron Man replacement in this. In the comics, she's brilliant. She's a brilliant MIT student who builds her own version of the Iron Man suit, and just goes off and takes place as Tony Stark in the Marvel universe. And
What now
Ironheart.
now with Peter Parker being incognito and only being known as Spider-Man, and no one knows him, you need someone to fill that de facto Tony Stark role now.
Yeah, well, I mean, especially, and then you have Iron Wars on top of that coming out, and that and Iron Wars, having Riri pop back up into Iron Wars with Don Cheadle and everything, getting that acknowledgement from War Machine is another notch in her belt of legitimacy. And then you have this whole Young Avengers thing building, because in Multiverse of Madness, we saw in the recent teaser trailer that Billy, Wiccan, and Speed are in the movie, which was long alluded to, but we're slowly gaining to a Young Avengers and a bigger universe, and there's a lot of stuff coming. And having Ironheart in there, which is, I've read like the first volume of comics, very nice, just trying to live up to her hero's expectations. Never ever really meeting him, and also having him as like her Jarvis, which is also a nice opportunity for Robert Downey Jr. just to do a couple like fucking like Paul Bettany voiceovers and just make a couple mil real quick.
Oh yeah,
He made $5 million for 5 minutes in Spider-Man.
he probably bought more animals.
He probably did.
Yeah.
He spent it wisely.
got a
I'm not
problem.
saying he's like frivolous anymore.
Chinaka Hodge from Snowpiercer fame is the head writer for Ironheart, so series is expected to begin production in June in Atlanta.
If I wanted to go off on a second tangent, at work we were going through different celebrities who have a criminal record. Like Tim Allen, he got busted for I think weed and cocaine. And
Mark Wahlberg.
his fucking
drives
mugshot,
Ferraris.
Tim Allen's mugshot, he has the most 70s mustache ever. It is the most entertaining fucking thing ever.
Well, see, it's called plausible deniability. No one's going to believe you with that fucking mustache. I mean, that he understood the assignment. I'm just going to say it.
Yeah, but I didn't know Mark Wahlberg got one. I mean, that's like a whole fucking
He
podcast
killed him.
you can have. And so did Hillary Clinton. But there's a whole podcast you can have on just different celebrities.
You killed Kelly.
I did. Look, pot calling the kettle black. But another
You bastard.
Another thing that's cooking in the oven is this next story. Because we have Charlize Theron producing Aqualad series for HBO Max.
Okay.
So DC Comics Undersea Kingdom of Atlantis is expanding on HBO Max, but it's not Aquaman, a.k.a. King Arthur, Jason Momoa, who is transitioning onto the streaming series. It's his protege, Aqualad. According to Deadline, Charlize Theron is executive producing, and You Brought Me the Ocean, based on the young adult graphic novel by Alex Sanchez and Jewel March.
I thought you were talking about the song from Toad the Wet Sprocket, Walk on the Ocean. I'm confused.
You Brought Me the Ocean.
Okay. You brought me the ocean.
It's
not
different.
Walk on the ocean.
It's a gift.
The sea.
Okay.
Not exercise. It's a gift.
It's a love song. It's a love song. Hang on.
All right, you can go there. Yeah.
Toad the Wet Sprocket, 90s.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the graphic novel. I was
No.
like, I guess you could call it a fucking love song. I mean, I listen to fucking synopsis. It kind of sounds like that.
Just making sure, you know. I'm glad we had that shared moment. Let's continue.
We had this shared moment and a multi-layered joke. We're all about onions. But this graphic novel is an out-of-continuity take on the current version of Aqualad with a somewhat reworked origin story. It's currently unknown if Theron also plans to appear on screen in the series or if her role is entirely behind the scenes. I mean, either way, you're getting an Aqualad series.
You know what?
Which makes sense. Batgirl.
I mean,
Aqualad.
she's a fan of the media, the medium itself, like comics, movies.
She was Hella?
No. Charlize Theron was Aeon Flux back in like early 2000s, which
I thought she was in Ragnarok.
no, that's I can't think right now. I'm rebooting. Hang on. But Charlize Theron was in Aeon Flux, and she, for what the script was and the story, she delivered well beyond expectations. The script was just weak.
Okay.
So if there was a better version
I knew that
of-
was a flop. I didn't really watch that one.
it was a good movie. I mean, it was for if you were just checking yourself at the door and watching it for free.
That's the ultimate key.
It was a good, it was a good action beat sequence.
Most
type movie.
shitty movies I watch free, I end up kind of like,
Yeah, not me.
kind of shitty.
I mean,
here,
if you have to pay
here,
for it, you
here.
always lose a letter grade. If depending on if it's a shitty movie.
Could have spackled over here, maybe cut out this than this, but it was all right. It was watchable. It was passable. It was better than a bowel movement.
It's a house with holes that you could still live in.
Fair enough.
Right.
But in this version of Aqualad, Jackson Hyde goes by Jack Hyde, and he is a gay college student who moves to the East Coast for college, unable to swim. Aquaman unable to swim? Is that like what is Superman?
It's an origin story very loosely. The fact that you have to highlight he's a gay college student, like we can figure that out.
I was focusing on his inability to swim, and you're going to be Aqualad. Like, bro, you better get swimmies.
They're going to be
Hold
bright.
your breath. Hold your breath.
They're going to be bright yellow.
Hold your
and
arms out.
purple. Hang on. Hang on, did your mom get them for you?
Aqualad has swimmies might be the title of the podcast, but unable to swim. Nevertheless,
Move
the
your
tube.
arms.
You got to get
Figure
the
it the
tube
hell out.
where you jump in and it goes up.
he's got the tube,
The onesie tube.
the swimmies, and the snorkel and mask.
And he will still end up drowning upside down because
look
those
like
things
Aquaman?
are a hazard.
Aquaman, hang on!
I can't reach you. This tube is interfering with me.
You're gonna have to call the fish. You're gonna have to call the fish. I can't reach.
As dolphin comes up, no, I can't do that. Shut up.
Just pass me the puffer fish and quit judging. So
That was pretty good.
that was really good. I will give you that. Nevertheless, he falls for the swim team captain. He also discovers marking on his skin that turned blue when in contact with water, leading him on to a quest to learn about his Atlantean heritage. Because of course, you have to be Atlantean or, I don't know, have a serious medical condition
I don't-
if your body starts glowing blue when you touch
I don't
water.
remember Aquaman glowing.
Hey, Jade, why do you have gills?
Yeah, what's with the gills, bro?
It was an accident when I was 12. My mom said I fell on a cheese grater. Like, that's not how that happens.
I don't know. There's like,
What are
I
you
can
doing?
see your
Working at
lungs.
Wendy's for?
I don't know.
I mean, Zach's Burgers down the street. That's
how have
more.
there not been scientific articles about it?
Yeah.
You know what? You know what really would add to this origin story if he was working at a seafood restaurant.
I'm sorry, I have a seafood allergy too.
Can I take you to get a PET scan?
I can't swim and I have a
Pet
seafood
scan?
allergy. Yo, Aqualad! Like, I think you have the wrong guy.
Do you want some popcorn shrimp?
You have to get it yourself because I'm allergic. He's wearing gloves. Like, here's your food. EpiPen, pocket! EpiPen, pocket!
It's in my right fin.
The only superhero to have an EpiPen on him, like a fucking Batman belt. He's just got nothing but EpiPens. Like, I'm Aqualad! Like, dude, you could do something else. You don't have to do that.
Swordfish comes in. Just a little prick.
So it's currently unknown if this HBO Max series will tie into the Aquaman mythology. It's set up in the films.
I
Rumors
think HBO Max hates us right now.
abound about the Aqualad
Let's just move
and the
on.
Lost Kingdom. But we'll have to see how this pans out. We have beat this dead fish enough.
Twice.
But another dead fish that needs beating is this next story, which is always... Hang on, I got a button for that.
That was a good segue.
Thank you, Connor. Because Warner Media and Discovery have finally merged into Warner Bros. Discovery.
So from one HBO Max story to another.
It's a different kind of bros. We started off in the end credits with Pornhub, and now we're on a...
Please don't tell me they're
Different bros.
starting their own service.
Bros before streaming.
Bros Before Streaming Hoes. That's a better title. But
on Pornhub.
11 months ago, we found out about AT&T and Warner Media merging with Discovery in an effort to conquer media platforms by combining vast amounts of scripted and unscripted content. Now we have Warner Bros. Discovery. The union between Warner Media and Discovery was successfully completed on Friday, bringing together HBO Max and Discovery Plus and all of their resources under one roof.
So I have, being from an IT background, so the uphill battle that Warner Media has right now with HBO Max and Discovery Plus.
Taking the file and clicking it over to the other one and then having to fill out all the information again.
And turning it off, turning it back on. No, but one, you have to develop an app. If they have to decide what their plan of attack is. If you're going to develop an app that
Everyone needs an app, man.
if you're going to develop an app with that's a repository for all your content, the user interface, the user experience is essential to making the application survive.
As Comixology found out recently when they tried to redo theirs and they were the fans just backlashed like, hey, no!
for
They're like,
the
whoa. Here.
for the amount of content that they're going to have, because you're looking at TLC, A&E, you know, Discovery. There's other like side channels, and then all the other on-demand stuff. So you have the live stuff, the on-demand stuff, and the stuff that like airs live, but then you get it an hour later. So with all that content just on Discovery Plus, then you add the HBO. The HBO interface, like the menu system, is horrible.
But if you look at like all
Their
of
content is fucking amazing.
all the content is amazing. They need to get more like Netflix and Netflix. They're the only one that really does it well, because
Amazon does it okay.
No.
No, because it doesn't know. It doesn't know when to shut the fuck up, because that's whenever you hear like the fucking stand-up comedy in the side background that pop up out of nowhere, this is probably Amazon.
Yeah. Amazon.
The other
I don't know.
the other
Still watch it, but
the other app
just
that
turn
does
off
it
the
well
TV.
is Hulu. Because they do
They're
it
not
by
bad.
certain hubs.
They're not bad. I would say their interface is along the same kind of accessibility and ease of use as Netflix.
Yes.
And they're definitely, those two are the better choices out of the streaming services, because
Correct.
you look at what, I mean, I don't have the pleasure of Discovery Plus, but soon will. And then you have like a bunch of different streaming services, and none of them really do it. I haven't checked out Apple. How does Apple do?
Apple is actually, you know, for the content, because it's only just their content. But
They got that prehistoric show that we talked about that really
yeah,
looks good.
I'll take care of you. With the way these services run, you have to invest in the cloud computing aspect in order to make it run efficient. If you don't, it will. It's not a matter of when. It's not a matter of if. It's just a matter of when. It will fail.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the major thing that I'm picking up from this story is that
Failure
you're
is the
more
only
concerned with the user interface aspect and less of the content. To where, flip back when we were talking about Disney Plus and their inception.
There's a reason for that.
We were worried about the content, and we still are, and less about the user interface, because you need to have something to make me go there before I bitch about your interface, which is shit.
I understand, but Disney is the
If I end off on a fucking episode, I don't want you to go to the one prior, all right? I don't want to all of a sudden relive that episode. I'm just saying.
Hulu
I
does
got
the same
shit
thing.
to do, man.
Hulu does the same thing.
Oh, you want to watch episode 6 after 7, right? Oh, fuck 8. Yeah, that's exactly what I want to do. Spend 3 hours watching something when I could have just spent 45. Thank you.
You can
My
go
rant
online
is
and
over.
you can go online and clear your history, and then you can watch them all the way through.
But
So
they should know.
Oh, it's so much
I shouldn't
work.
have to do that. You should know. Netflix does it.
Disney is the anomaly.
Disney also doesn't know when off is off. Like, oh, you're not watching something else? No, we got you, bro. Like, no, I shut you off.
So with streaming and the user interface, if the user interface is shit, it doesn't matter how much content you have. If I have trouble getting to it to watch it, I will unsubscribe. Point blank, period.
Yeah. I mean, you have to have that content. And that with this, the CEO, Bob Salazov, he says, we want to compete against Disney and Netflix, but we are a very different company. Those two great companies, Disney has a group of people who around the world that absolutely love their product, and they are doing very well. Netflix has a very broad appeal product and is doing a wonderful job building out the brand. But Warner Brothers Discovery will rely on a very identifiable IP, and we are much broader than Disney. HBO has Euphoria right now. It just had Succession. It has The Gilded Age going on right now. When you put Euphoria on, then everybody could watch 90 Day Fiancé, and they could watch Fixer Upper. There's a real balance of content here we can go to.
to the shock and awe. So essentially, I guess what he's saying is you can watch the good HBO Max shit with like the Arkham series and, you know, this Aqualad show we just talked about.
What?
And you can watch that, and your wife can watch 90 Day Fiance.
If both interfaces suck, she will bitch about getting to it. And then I have to stop what I'm doing.
Yeah, but
which
what are
is
you gonna-
normally playing a video game, and then I have to go down there and be like, you don't understand it.
What are you
don't
gonna do?
understand Technology.
Watch cable?
Why don't you understand technology? And then I have to grab the remote from her, which then
What are you going to do? Watch commercials?
Oh my God.
Are you going to watch commercials? I would rather jab a spoon into my eye.
You know what?
It's an extreme
jab
metaphor.
a spoon into
Tell me,
a nice
cousin,
parfait.
why a spoon?
Because it's an A+ idea, Pinky. Like this next story.
That was a good segue.
Thank you, Connor. Because
That was a layup, sir. Spoon in a parfait. You're welcome.
yes, because A+ catering and events is going to be the best idea that you stole from this podcast, because they will have all the most delicious delicatessens.
Anything that you have learned, it's book these people.
Exactly, man. They'll have all the stuff you never thought of enjoying right on your table when your coworker
You
says,
don't know how much heaven in your mouth that you want just by looking at this food.
giggity. Your coworker will come up to you and say, "Hey, did you book these guys? Where'd you get them?" And you'll say, "I listened to them on the Purge Hangers and Wall Hangers Triforce podcast."
Codeword Justice.
Sorry, I had a cough. And you will obviously get 0% off. But you'll get a giggle out of them by saying Codeword Justice. And all the best delicious delicacies.
Or they may have no idea what the hell you're
Oh,
talking about.
That's nice, Codeword Justice. Is he in a cult? The answer is yes, but who ain't?
Batman.
But the different pictures that pop up in our ends.
It's an amazing.
every week.
I mean, they're. I wish we can get them like right now. Just saying.
I mean, they probably got shit to do right now, but we can. I'll definitely reach out.
Yeah,
and
reach
see
out.
about doing
Reach out.
a live event with them.
I
Because
got the yard. We could do it.
Oh, we will definitely set something up, and maybe a live event. We'll never know.
Or maybe do a cross promotion with ACPW.
Somebody else who's cross promoting. It's this next story.
That was a good segue, sir.
It was because Max Payne remakes are coming out from Remedy Entertainment after a striking deal with Rockstar.
I'm actually semi-excited for this because this was the first game. This game came out right around The Matrix came out, and it was the first game that had bullet time.
Yeah. Bullet time was big back in the fucking, what was that, late 90s, early 2000s?
It was 99. 99, man.
We're gonna party like it's 1999. Bam, bam, bam. Anyway.
R.I.P. Prince. Or the artist. Yes. It was this.
The symbol.
With that.
Yeah.
With the two lines.
Yeah.
Yes.
But Remedy Entertainment is returning to the franchise that made the studio a noteworthy name in the gaming industry and will remake Max Payne and Max Payne 2, The Fall of Max Payne. The announcement comes with word that Remedy has struck an agreement with Rockstar Games to develop the remake. The deal is for Remedy to make one big remake encompassing both classic Max Payne titles. The game will be targeting a release on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC, and will utilize its Northlight game engine. Rockstar will be fronting the bill for the development, which will be budgeted to be in line with a typical Remedy AAA production, in quotes, according to a press release provided by Remedy. Remedy will collect royalties on the game after Rockstar has recouped its funding and development and publishing, which is a really good deal for Rockstar.
I hope it doesn't bomb because I don't want it to sound When Doves Cry.
No release date was given on the project. So Max Payne, it was one of those games I played a little bit. It didn't really hook me.
I beat it. It was great.
I really
Fucking
appreciated
story was awesome.
Because out of that, you got, what was it? True Crime, Streets of L.A. and Streets
True
of
Crimes.
New York.
Yep.
It was
The
right
one
along
with
that same
True
Max
Crimes,
Payne
True
vein.
Crimes, and then with Snoop on the cover was L.A.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a good one. I mean,
For shizzle, man.
but it was in that same Max Payne vein. And, there was a movie, right?
No.
Yeah.
Not True Crimes.
Mark
No,
Wahlberg.
Mark
Max
Wahlberg
Payne.
went Max Payne. Yeah.
Yeah. I wanted to say, I was like, Mark Wahlberg. We fucking mentioned him. Probably not how he wanted.
Went from real life to on camera. It still works. Shooter.
But is there a game in that? Because Max Payne is one of those games that I wouldn't have imagined that I would want to have a new rebirth. But we just got Max Payne 3 back in 2019. So it was like, oh, you're going to keep going with this. But
Max Payne
remaking
3 was backwards compatible in 2019.
I wouldn't mind.
No. Actually,
I wouldn't mind a live action adaptation.
Max Payne 3 was 2011, and it just became
On the Switch, it just became available.
on Xbox Game Pass and backwards compatibility. They just re-added it back to the 360 era and PS3 era.
So you have that game available if you want. But I always thought a Max Payne show would be good.
Yeah, there was some heavy moments, like, him getting, captured and then drugged and then having the hallucinations of, like, his son and his wife dying. Spoiler for the first game.
You've had your chance.
You had your chance since 1999. It's 22 fucking years.
And then that part where he was a street hooker with Falcon Roy.
Yeah,
Falcon-
Falcon Roy
that was a
doesn't like to
Falcon
talk
punch.
about. He doesn't like to talk about those days. That was the past. He paid a guy a lot of money to clean that up.
Was he at the Hairy Donut?
No comment. No comment.
Falcon Roy is a legend.
Fake news.
All right.
Fake news.
It's like Bill Murray. You can't confirm or deny where Falcon Roy is.
He was listening to Limp Bizkit. That's what he was doing.
He did it all for the nookie. But
Chocolate
so did-
starfish, baby.
Take Two, not this, the actual parent company of Rockstar, owns the rights to the Max Payne IP. And Rockstar itself developed Max Payne 3, which was released in 2012, and sold the rights to the series for $10 million in cash and stock shares in 2002, a year prior to the release of Max Payne 2.
Ooh, here's something that would help. Make a game!
Well, I mean, yeah.
What have they made? Nothing. They don't do anything.
Well,
They just-
Remedy-
Max Payne 3 is still being sold and still
It is.
Yeah.
high in sales.
Remedy
22 years.
Yeah, Remedy Entertainment's most recent games include Control, Big Brother's absolute favorite.
Fuck them.
The campaign on Crossfire
tried.
X.
Ugh.
The Alan Wake remastered. The studio.
Oh, I got a flashlight. Oh no, it's a boogeyman. It would have been better if it was a little kid. Then,
I got my flashlight.
Yeah, you make it animated.
He's on my flashlight, little man. You gonna go down, bad guy? Yeah, that'd probably
And
be
it's
better.
real life. Otherwise, give the character a gun.
Could you imagine that trying to pass in a show? Your evil villain's made of shadows, and your main
Yeah, but
hero,
you also
his fucking weapon isn't a gun; it's a flashlight because
But
he
you
shines
also-
truth.
you also explained the plot of Outlast.
Yes, but the studio is currently developing Alan Wake 2, a multiplayer game with Tencent, codename Vanguard, and a multiplayer Control spinoff.
Okay.
Sounds like a...
Sounds like on to
Big
the
Brother's
next
not
story.
playing it. I'll tell you that. First off, multiplayer. Second off, Control. That's a double no.
Anxiety. So anxiety and frustrating anger.
Yeah,
So you went from blue to red.
that's a different pill. But somebody else who's on pills, probably.
Just like...
This next story.
It takes some pills to understand the next story or the timeline.
Kingdom Hearts 4 announced will kick off Sora's new
Hello,
story.
Sora. Do you want to enter the heart of darkness?
So the next
That was actually well played.
That was. So the next mainline Kingdom Hearts game with Kingdom Hearts 4 is now in development. Square Enix announced Sunday during the 20th anniversary live stream for the franchise.
So to understand the storyline of Kingdom Hearts,
to be
please, no, that's the mobile game. Please,
you know, I really thought it was gonna be
in this
better,
day and
not
age,
like-
this is the shit you're putting out, huh?
to understand the storyline, please prepare yourself with a year's worth of shrooms just to understand.
Just go to
please.
YouTube. Honestly, just go to YouTube. That's what I did for like comic storylines that I want to know the information. Just go to fucking YouTube. There's somebody who describes
No,
it with the fucking pictures.
KH4 is, well, I mean, it sounds like a drug, but
It is a drug.
I mean, you look at it.
KH4. Your kids are on it.
during the game.
Bum bum.
I didn't know. I just saw Benson and Stabler arrest me.
Did I see Johnny? Yeah, I saw Johnny. You stop working? No, I got to put these papers on this curb.
That's what it says in my script.
And for the whole conversation. Anyway, so Kingdom Hearts 4 confirms that Sora, Donald, and Goofy for a brand new adventure and what Square Enix calls
Sora seems like such a nice guy.
an epic new storyline, in quotes, named The Lost Master Arc.
Kept on
Obviously,
calling about a Keyblade.
how
Like, what-
fucking, first off, how, like, how epic was this master if he's lost? He's so awesome, he doesn't know where he is.
You're
He's
talking
not
about-
a master of direction.
You're talking about Mickey Mouse, Mark Hamill, and Leonard Nimoy. Those are your masters of the Keyblade.
Like, did they walk
Are
into...
you gonna
You gotta
besmirch
set up.
them?
You gotta set this up better. Is it a fucking gangbang? Is it a cuckold? Is it a convention? What's going on here with Mark Hamill and?
I mean,
Leonard
looking
Nimoy?
at Sora, it looks like.
I mean, Leonard Nimoy's dead, so there's at least necrophilia going on, or necromancy,
That's not any better.
you just killed it.
Just
and brought it
like-
back to life. But Kingdom Hearts' first trailer introduces a
I mean, you
Quadratone.
resurrected Kelly over there, so
which, while looking a lot like Tokyo, is described as Square Enix as an expansive city set in a gorgeous, realistic world, unlike anything ever seen before in the Kingdom Hearts series.
the trailer looks amazing. Let's just call it that. All right, thank you, Square Enix.
I mean, they fucking copied Tokyo. Write what you know. And they made Tokyo again, just like Tokyo Ghostwire. They fucking copied Tokyo and they made a game. I mean, we're talking about a game engine, and somebody copied the city of Tokyo
Hello?
and put it in there.
Super Mario Odyssey copied New York. I'm just
So did
calling it
So did Grand Theft Auto 4.
correct. And they did New York, LA, and Miami. Oh my God. You mean real life actually translate? Oh, yes, it does.
And they're about to do Miami and Cuba. Scarface did Cuba before
Yes,
and
it did.
Miami, which Scarface, the game, was amazing.
I have
that
a
needs
funny
a remake.
Like it does, but I have a funny story with Scarface the game. So like my buddy Keith and I, we were
Doing a kilo of cocaine.
we were at the Wawa before the like the Wawa in Brookhaven
where
before
you
the
bought-
Super Wawa.
Yeah, that's where you bought the cocaine.
Yeah, I mean
It came with the hoagie.
that's Delco proper. But we were talking about the game,
Yes.
and then because we were talking about the game, of course we were talking about cocaine in the game, and then like a cop just walks up behind us, hearing our conversation. This is like, no, we're talking about Scarface the video game. Sorry. You can check our
I
car.
sold about 20 kilos, man. No, that was a great game because you had that fucking drug dealing thing in there.
Yep.
It had that kind of like, this is wrong, but I love this side mission, almost like the first couple Saints Row,
Yep.
to where this is fucked up, but this is so good.
Yeah, like that mission and the other mission in Saints Row where you had to jump in front of cars to get the insurance payout.
Yes, that was the best. But what was the mission that you hated in Saints Row with the cat, Mister?
Anything with the cat.
That's 4, I think.
What was the
Or
cat's
3.
name?
That's 3. I don't know what the cat's name is, but that was 3.
It was Mister something.
Well, whatever he was very annoying.
Yeah, because that's the same game that Johnny got killed. So, spoiler alert.
Yeah.
And they resurrected him.
Put him in a body bag, John. Actually, Johnny is in the body bag in that one. Actually, that's a fucking disappointment.
Yeah,
but
well, spoiler.
Square Enix did not announce a release date or platform for Kingdom Hearts 4. What would you see it coming out on? I don't know what the last one came out. I just imagine it coming out on everything.
Yeah, it's just going to come out and everything. I can
come out
actually
on
see
the
this coming out on Switch. I see that.
I thought Nintendo. Just because of the whole Nintendo and Disney have always had a very friendly relationship.
But this has been a Sony IP from the start. And it's only been recent that it came on Xbox.
Well, Sony has always been one for exclusivity, so I at least see Sony getting it first.
No, I think they're gonna mass release it because with Xbox
They're
being
just looking for the numbers.
Well, I mean, it's in this day and age, you're better off putting it everywhere. Sorry, STD. But you're better off putting it everywhere.
Fair enough. Okay.
The more people that actually buy your product, whether it's through Microsoft, waving the golden carrot and say, hey, put it on Game Pass, and the people will buy it anyway through that.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
It does.
And with PlayStation, this would be the perfect game to release day one for PlayStation. The new PlayStation subscription model.
Here's the thing. PlayStation, with their new whole subscription service they're going for, they do not want to do first day releases.
Now, but they
Xbox
got a
wants
year
to do that.
They got a year and a half to do it.
I just see it as a bad it's bad form to go out like, hey, we want to be the Xbox Game Pass killer, but we're not going to give you first day releases.
That term anymore, killer, like I want to be this killer or that killer, like as far as like software or hardware, it doesn't make sense anymore because you need the competition in order to make yourself better. Yeah. And the only way that you both win is if a software company says, hey, we want the same across all platforms.
But even still, I mean, Game Pass, when it was first announced, like, oh, I'm not doing that. I mean, it's one of those things.
I did it right away. I knew the future was going.
Well, I know you are on that vein, but I'm more thrifty, and it's more and more enticing in my age to where I'm like, I'm not going to buy games like I used to, and having a service to where I can just let me play this. It's more and more enticing.
The only games I buy are the ones that I actually have time invested in now.
Mm.
So I don't buy a lot anymore.
I mean, the last game I could count on one hand the last amount of games out of the plethora
outside of Steam sale. Yeah. Outside of Steam sale.
Outside of Steam sale. The last, I mean, that doesn't count because it's like a fucking game and they're like, I just want you to buy this.
It's only $1.
You know what I mean? Like I can't not buy this. It's so cheap. But that's one of the things.
For $3.99, I will take 120 hours of your life.
Exactly. They make it very accessible, and that's why it's more accessible to do that on PC. And that's why I more prefer PC. But if I were to go to console, I would go for more of that subscription based in the age that I'm at. But I'm a PC player and I get a bunch of free games. So
Ultimate Game Pass gives you that.
I found another free MMO that I'm about to dip into. Like, I have a bunch of free jacuzzis to chill in. I'm fine.
With champagne.
And bubbly. But
a little bit of bubbly.
Kingdom Hearts has always been one of those, very niche classic games that there's a very strong following behind. Something that doesn't have a strong following is this next story.
Believe it or not.
I'm surprised. I was surprised. That's why I had to add this.
I think it has a decent following.
I forgot this game existed.
It has a decent following.
It does, but I'm not that survival game guy, but Subnautica, we're getting a new game. It's in development right now.
Okay.
Now, when I first found Subnautica, I found it interesting. I thought it was a very
He was living on
premise.
the streets. He was doing cocaine
Yeah.
and speed.
But then I found Subnautica.
It wasn't
changed my
cocaine,
life.
It was catnip. He had a horrible catnip problem.
I didn't really want that public, but it's okay. It's okay. Catnip saved my life. But the Subnautica, when you first go into it, it's interesting because it's like, oh, I'm in this spaceship.
Hashtags cat scatters.
I'm in the spaceship.
I think you should avoid anything cat hashtag. That's generally
that's a good way to get. That's a good way to get
generally not
shawarma in your
safe.
face.
Hashtag vegan cat. Not safe. Not safe.
But you're in this spaceship. You crash on this ocean planet, and then you have to fucking make whatever.
I played it. It's quite fun.
It is a fun game. It's just survival. I will only give so much of my attention to just because it's so
You keep
monotonous.
one screen on that and the other screen on the wiki,
Yeah,
so you know where the hell
Wiki,
to
wiki,
go.
wiki.
exactly. Wiki.
Get
But-
eaten by a giant sea monster. The second one wasn't
While
nearly
sipping
as
your
good.
gin and juice.
Now, they also had that expansion of Below Zero, which gained a lot of steam behind the game again, to where, I mean, I guess what, you just go to a different ocean planet? Do you go something different, like lava?
It was-
all right, we're building the city in lava now.
Yeah. It's
I
a good
mean-
game. That's all I know.
I mean, even if it was just like, all right, now we're building like a underground city. And then you got to deal with moles and giant worms trying to kill you and shit. But it's just still, they're going for, I imagine, that survival game. The next in that Subnautica series. Now, if they continue, like maybe they just go off on space travel. Because you started off in a fucking spaceship. Your whole goal in the game was to get off the fucking water planet.
Yeah, so was the
Maybe it's
goal of
space.
Pikmin.
Now you have to fucking survive in an oxygen environment.
That's
Like that one game, Oxygen Only. Was that the name? It was something like that.
something like that.
Yeah.
I think we're ready for the next door.
Yeah, we're ready for the end segment because this end segment is what sci-fi planet would you want to live on? I'm going widespread on this one, man. What is your optimum home? Because
I don't know
Big
if
Brother, you mentioned Naboo.
Yeah, Naboo, it seems like a nice place.
You know, pre-war.
It seems like, like they actually care about the planet and it's like Earth, what was.
Although we only saw like the higher end of society, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
the slums could be horrible.
Well, it's just like
They generally
Coruscant,
are.
man.
That's the Gungans.
Coruscant, you know the slums are horrible from all the rebels and Clone
Jedi
Wars.
Fallen Order.
Jedi Fallen Order. You know the slums of Coruscant are fucking horrible. Like, you don't really... I mean, it depends where you live on Coruscant, like Taurus, before the Sith bombing in Old Republic. It depends on the level
I would love
you live on. If you live on the upper level, Coruscant is a very lovely place
So
to
we
live.
know it's science fiction because I would love to see
Pandora!
no
Oh.
Wouldn't want to open that box.
Earth.
Hang on.
He's here all day. Earth, but in Star Trek. I want to see.
You want the Star Trek Earth?
I want the Star Trek Earth.
That what's money?
What's money? What everybody's like. All the nations of the world have come together and they've stopped fucking off.
I'm a podcaster. Give me free food.
I mean, there's still
That
like
would be
some
a nice
semblance
one.
of
That
like.
would be a nice one.
There is that mandatory hand-holding session at 6
But I also
o'clock.
want to see Vulcan. I want to see that. I want to see,
You got to rock back and forth.
I just want to be able to visit multiple planets.
I mean, in that Star Trek universe, you could just have a shuttle that has light speed and just go fuck off wherever you want.
Mm-hmm.
Light speed and a replicator.
But as a comedic element,
Odds World?
no.
That would be horrible.
That'd be odd too. You'd be the only human.
Spaceballs. Spaceballs.
Okay.
That'd be neat.
Just be able to hang out with Mel Brooks all day.
Are you on the planet that is encased in a giant glass dome? Because you're going to have to wear a lot of SPF. A lot. Like 100 is, like, I'm just going to get the mail. I'm going to get the mail. Bloop. Dumping my vat of SPF 100. Because of sunlight refracting. Anyway. But ultimately, Alderaan,
Old Republic, Alderaan, because then I can have my transportation as a giant flying stingray.
Didn't they also do that on Naboo in episode 1 in the water?
Well, there's a lot of stingrays in the Star Wars universe, and I like mine on Alderaan. You know, I mean, it's a nice planet. Looks a lot like California, if you believe it.
Stay away from the blue milk.
A lot of redwood trees, and you know, it looks like very decent weather. I'm down. I'm down. Alderaan, very good people. You know, hence why they get blown up later on. They obviously are good people because the Emperor hates them. So I'll live there.
Possibly have hurt.
I mean, that's just God mode. It's like, I'm just going to turn you to dust.
You're just there and then poof.
I mean, that's the Big Bang anyway.
It was definitely a big bang.
It was a big something. But Krypton, before it exploded, wouldn't be a bad one, though.
Before it became desolate. I would love to see, like, the beginning stages of Krypton.
When it was starting to peak?
Oa?
Yeah.
With the Green Lanterns, man?
That would be nice to see, just to be like, you know, be like just part of the core.
Hey, can I get a ring to travel around? I just want to fly around the planet. I'll give it back.
What's your name, Jacob? What do you want to do? I just want to stand here.
What's your name? Hey. Nobody. Guard the Cyclops. We heard that. Damn it. I also thought Nowhere would be a great place, even though it's just a giant floating head of a celestial. We can count it as a planet. It's roughly the size of at least like a small moon, so we'll count it in there as a planet.
Yeah, yeah.
It fits in there under Planetoid, but I thought, you know, Nowhere, there's a lot of stuff. I mean, you got a nice titty bar, guaranteed. Nice place to eat. Good place to get ramen.
Where was the
pawn shop?
Not that I want to visit, but like the
Tatooine?
Earth, Mars, and Venus of Total Recall.
Oh man,
because that was like everything, like humanity.
Total Recall.
Mars,
Total Recall.
Oh,
Schwarzenegger. You can't. I mean, you gotta go with the classic. You gotta go with the classic.
I haven't seen
nothing against Colin Farrell. I haven't seen that one, but like, I'm inclined to like go to the Schwarzenegger one before he fucks it all up with his free ideas.
But I'm like Earth of Buck Rogers fame. That would be interesting to see.
Damn, pulling a way back pick, deep cut.
Yeah,
Buck Rogers. Like, where are you going next? Flash Gordon?
I mean, just saying.
It was pre-Star Wars.
Yeah,
so
it was.
That was led to Star Wars. So
Star Wars was only 77. That's when it first started, man.
Yeah, it's still young. Still young.
Yeah.
But even off into just like the nerdy realm, like the Halo ring.
You know what I want to see? The Last Starfighter.
Okay.
Just be part of the world where he came from. I would love to see that world.
You know what?
That origin story.
Big brother, I'm fucking up, man. Easy pick. Gallifrey.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool. Well, really depends on when.
When there isn't war on Gallifrey.
One of the beautiful worlds
maybe
from
not
Outer World.
Gallifrey. Maybe not.
Look, I just want to if you have residency on Gallifrey, then just steal the fucking TARDIS. Look, the Doctor did it. It can't be that hard.
I want to see what the world was in Horizon Zero Dawn before the machines like took over.
Yeah. I mean,
before like mechanical apocalypse.
There's probably a lot of me too, but it'll probably be a lot of technology too you'll get off on.
Well, I mean, the computers were getting offended.
I don't like hashtag.
Sorry, Dave.
I feel
you have
triggered.
been canceled.
You typed 0101. I'm triggered.
Cat you, Dave.
But we want to know what your sci-fi planet is that you would want to live on ultimately. I mean,
yep.
Alderaan, Krypton. I mean,
maybe Gallifrey. I mean, Borg Cube, if you're socialist, I guess.
I mean, that's futile anyway.
But
or if you never want to be alone.
are you lonely?
Whether you like it or not.
I can see a commercial at like 2 a.m. Are you lonely?
Resistance is futile.
And so is your cock.
899 in Borg, please.
Hashtag 10.
01.
0.01% off.
01.
Equals Hio.
Porn code aside, I think we found a killer end segment. To
And the title.
We get to it by the end. But we end off this podcast every single week with the thank yous. We want to thank you out to Lakendra Harmon, Mark Gervais, Moiselle Robinson, Joe Gilmore, and you, Loyal Woljanger. Yeah, you. Right there. Yes, you. Right there. Tap that like button right there.
All three
Comment
of you.
below.
And
Subscribe.
We see you.
Absolutely. Mike Baker let us in. But we end off this podcast with none other than a long drawn out goodbye. I am your host, Matthew Bucarell, the Matman. To my left is Christopher Bristow, the old man, and our omnipotent presence that is Stephen Bucarell, big brother. Our hero of time, mascot Link Diablo, woogity woogity, as well as our cardboard Kelly, just sitting in the background like a cuckle, watching us, not saying anything. Dick. Until next week, we love you, we miss you, we want to see you then. Game on, Wolljangers! Bye-bye!
Oh, no, we're going to end it.
Shutting it off.
All right. Bye-bye.
Play on my Changers. That was a good segue. Our Island Kelly.
Don't tell anybody.
Sorry.
It's a secret.
Okay.
Or we'll kill you.
Bye-bye.
I'm just kidding. Don't mean to offend the
A
puppy.
long time ago.
What do I got in the live folder? This is the shit that didn't make it in the end credits. HBO Max. Scroll down so I can see that release date. Batman did over 700 million.
Damn.
Amazing for them.
On
But
its way.
April 23rd, you're going to find it on the HBO Maxes. That's the whole part.
At this point,
purpose
might
of
as well
this story is
might as well
just to
wait.
really just praise the Batman. Also seeing how my wave looks on the
Without killing Kelly.
yeah. What happened? Oh, he's out of arm distance. See, he's safe now. He's safe this week. Kelly will not be killed, at least by me, I presume. What do we have next in the folder? Because Batman's great. That's April 23rd is when the old man's finally going to watch it eventually. Because then, no, you can watch it around Connor. It's not that bad. Yeah, I was taking a look at all the ACPW pictures.
We will be posting up the ACPW cross promotion interview with David Westcavage
Yes, we are in affiliation.
from Suburban Sasquatch. So
The Black Superman show,
okay,
the reboot. Ta-Nehisi Coates and J.J. Abrams are working on this one, and they're expecting the script to be turned in soon. That's why it's not a real story, and it's the end credits. But I like,
Someday we're going to have a movie.
I like the premise of this. I like that they're going with this alternative Superman, which, you know, we've seen alternative versions of Superman and Batman, but this is alternate universe. This is not Kal-El.
okay. So I got a sidebar question. Seeing what J.J. Abrams did with Star Wars, do you think he's better with Star Trek and DC or Star Wars and Marvel?
I did not mind his Star Trek movies. I thought that Chris Pine was a great Captain Kirk.
Yes,
I thought
agree.
it was a very new way to look at a very classic old story.
Yeah, just like
Like the second movie, their Wrath of Khan with Benedict Cumberbatch, and it had Mickey from Doctor Who blew up that was amazing. Even their third movie, which we since watched, was great. Beyond was like all three of those movies donked. Alice Eve is and that's the thing. Like those movies, and JJ has those things that you can't deny. Like Super 8. So you can't deny that.
You can't deny Super 8, but here's the thing. Here's the asterisk to this question.
I just realized I'm wearing a Superman shirt.
Yeah. Do you think he gets...
I dressed myself!
Yeah! Do you think his directing style gets kind of hindered by the overpowering Disney machine that they have to stick to a certain narrative?
I think that he was hindered by Disney.
Yeah.
Because Joss was probably available to get that middle movie out in their time frame, and he was probably busy with another project. So I think that, you know, you need to give JJ wide, like Nevada wide open fields, you know,
Grand Canyon,
you know,
wide open.
Give that man space to really fucking run, and you will have a really good fucking premise. And I think that with Disney, it's not that I think they have a certain template that they want people to kind of follow, and the only two people that are kind of breaking that mold are Filoni and Favreau right now. With well, that's also because what they're doing is just going to the lore and all the stuff they fucking grew up on loving and adding it in there, retconning it. Like that's not a bad thing because that's what Filoni and Lucas was doing.
Linky, Kelly's not coming.
You're gonna have to settle for the cardboard one. But that's exactly what Filoni was doing with Lucas, with Clone Wars and Rebels. Lucas was less involved, I think, with Rebels. But what he was doing is he was just retconning in some stuff and adding in some new lore and new people and new things that really fucking fleshed out that story and made fans really fall in love. Especially because they loved that animated, the 2D animated one. Oh, he's questioning that. He's like, I don't like those arms, man. You can give me a pat on the belly. He's questioning that.
That's all right, Link. You're okay.
But with the new Superman, I think it could definitely have legs if it's done right. But
anything else that's didn't make the...
One more story that didn't make the cut.
Okay.
Mandalorian, Season 3. You have one Giancarlo Esposito revealing right there in that quote, you'll get it soon. You'll get it soon. I got a few things to do in regards to that to put some finishing touches on what I do, but I believe it will be sometime in the summer.
Okay.
Oh, you weren't saying that wrong. That is what it says. Holy shit.
Yeah, it says it right there.
Yeah, those are some words.
It's like, hey, Giancarlo, when's Mandalorian coming out? When's Mandalorian coming out? And he was just like, okay, yeah, that's soon, yeah, summer, which that's good. I'm going to
go back to being the villain on Far Cry 6.
Now, we also know they're not going to do Bad Batch this year. Bad Batch is 2023. So it gives Mandalorian Season 3
some breath.
You know what I mean? It's good old reliable.
Yeah.
Mandalorian. And I'm not going to say no. They set it up with Mandalorian 1.5 very nicely.
This is the fit.
But, I think that there's a lot of different things that Star Wars has going on that we're going to be seeing in the future. And going into Season 3 with Mandalorian, that's not a bad thing because everybody loves that show. You know, it's a win. Because now you can add in different new characters that you can take into this show you wanted to do, Rangers of the New Republic.
Doesn't that change his tagline, though? Because he was told that he's no longer a Mandalorian, but maybe...
Well, that's the premise.
This is my way?
That's probably the premise of season 3 is him finding Mandalore, going to those caves and proving himself as a Mandalorian with the Darksaber, and then going on this whole transformative journey to turn him into Mandalore.
Or he'll take off his helmet and become a singer.
I was going to say a waiter.
Oh, okay. That might work.
I think you're downloaded the wrong TV show.
What?
You meant to order lasagna because this is the way.
I came to fix your printer.
I don't think that's how this works.
This is the way.
He's called the Mandalorian.
The maitre d'.
That's way better.
Maitre d'. So, I guess you could hop back over to the PJ page, but Mandalorian's coming, Batman's coming, giggity. You can just hit enter. It already filled it in.
Yeah, autofill.
Because you can find us on all social media handles: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and Twitter.
We love you, Cat.
Also hit that subscribe button right there. You can like and comment below, right above my head. That's going to be the very best Purge Hangers and Wall Hangers video for you. Right above the old man's head is going to be every single Triforce podcast in a playlist, all over 150 of them. And, of course, as our main man Connor says every single week, bye-bye.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Yeah.
Did anybody join the Zoom? Did we check on that?
Nope.
It's right there.
Right there.
Yeah.
Right there.
Bye.